Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to World Conference on Creative Economy, Day 3. For the first keynote speaker of the day, please welcome the co-CEO of Moonton, game developer for Mobile Legends Bang Bang, Mr. Justin Yuan, and the country director, Mr. Kaya Yan.
尊敬的女士们、先生们，大家上午好，我是来自中国牧童游戏的 Justin。我今天演讲的题目是游戏的未来，小公司如何实现突破。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin from Moonton. The topic of the speech today is the future of the e-gaming. How a small-sized company breaks through.
牧童是一家非常年轻的公司，我们2014年创立于中国上海，至今已经4岁了。我们的员工平均年龄是27岁。我们最为人熟悉的游戏就是 Mobile Legends Bang Bang。
Moonton is a very young company, 4 years and counting since being established in 2014 in Shanghai. We are an energetic company consisting of 27 years old employees on average. Our most famous game is none other than Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang 已经有2.5亿的注册用户，每个月有5000万的用户会登录我们的游戏。它在全球80多个国家进入移动游戏排行榜的前10位，在新加坡、印尼、马来西亚和菲律宾，它是排行第1的电竞游戏。
At the moment, we have 250 million registered users, and every month we have 50 million users logging into the game. We are on the top 10 grossing chart in mobile gaming category across more than 80 countries. And however, we are the #1 mobile game in countries such as Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, and of course Indonesia.
下面我们看一下一个游戏视频。
So let's take a look at a clip of our intro to our game.
Triple kill, mega kill, monster kill, godlike, killing spree, unstoppable, impossible, legendary.
首先我想分享一下关于全球游戏市场的一些数据。
First of all, I would like to start by sharing about the global market data in the game industry.
全球游戏的产值在2018年将达到1380亿美金，是同期全球游戏票房，全球游戏电影收入的3倍。
In 2018, the gaming industry has generated an income of $138 billion US, which is 3 times higher than global box office.
手机游戏的收入在2018年将达到703亿，相比2012年增长了5倍。
From those $138 billion US, $70.3 billion US is from mobile gaming.
根据第三方的统计，在全球移动游戏前10的公司中，不乏在主机游戏 PC 领域的一些游戏巨头，例如腾讯、动视暴雪和索尼等。
According to the third-party statistics, some game companies such as Tencent, Activision Blizzard, and Sony, which are well known as the leading developers of PC games and console games, also ranks the top 10 companies of mobile games.
在过去几年，依然有一些初创公司大获成功，比如第7名的 Supercell 公司。
On the other hand, in the past few years, there are some startup companies achieve great success. For example, like Supercell, which is ranked the seventh.
他们在2012年创立时只有6位员工，在5年以后 在200多名员工的规模之下，他们的估值超过了100亿美金。
They have only 6 employees when it was established in 2012, and just within 5 years, they have over 200 employees with $10 billion market value.
排名第9位的 Prelix 公司，他们专注于3消游戏这个领域，只依靠于4款游戏就进入了行业前10。
Another case would be PlayRix. They focus on casual match-3 games and ranked 9th rely on the grossing of 4 casual games.
不同也是这样的小公司中的一员。接下来我们将分享我们 Mobile Legends Banban 的一些游戏经验。
So how does a small game company make a breakthrough? So let me share our experience.
首先，我们认为产品需要选择正确的方向。
First, we must choose the right project.
在2016年的时候，全球市场缺少一款好的手机电竞游戏。
In 2016, the global market lacks good mobile esports games.
不同的初创团队很多来自于英佩、Gameloft 等全球知名的游戏公司，在电竞游戏的开发和全球移动游戏发行上积累了非常好的经验。
Most of our startup members used to work in Epic, Gameloft, and other famous game companies. Thus, our team have great experience and knowledge in esports game development and global mobile games publication. So that's why we decided to develop MLBB.
其次，最重要的是我们要聚焦用户体验，解决用户的问题。我将分3点谈一下这方面的经验。
Secondly, we focus on the user's experience and solving their problems. I would like to break it down into 3 parts.
第一点，电竞游戏是所有游戏中对网络要求最高的。为了解决这个问题，我们在全球50多个节点部署了超过1500台服务器，尽量覆盖所有的用户。
The first point is esports games are the most demanding on network. In order to solve the network problems, we deployed more than 1,500 servers in more than 50 nodes around the world, covering as many users as possible.
第二点，在东南亚和南美，大约75%的用户使用的是4G 网络进行游戏，家庭 WiFi 并不普及，所以大家不喜欢大的安装包。
The second point, in Southeast Asia and South America, around 75% users are using 4G network instead of Wi-Fi. So they are not likely to download big size installation packages.
所以我们通过各种技术手段，使得安装包只有300兆、100兆，而大多数的大型游戏的安装包在300兆左右。
That's why we put a great effort to reduce the size of our installation package to less than 100 megabytes, while many other games are usually larger than 300 megabytes.
此外，我们还花了很多精力，让配置比较低端的手机也能流畅地运行我们的游戏。
In addition, we also made sure to pay attention on low-spec phones to also be able to play our game smoothly.
2年前 ，Mobile Legends 的第1个游戏版本只有10个英雄。在此之后，我们每周会发布一个新的版本来完善我们的游戏。目前游戏已经有70多个英雄，游戏日趋完善。
And third point, 2 years ago, Mobile Legends only has 10 heroes. But since the game was launched, we would have weekly update to have the optimized version. Now MLBB has more than 70 heroes, and the game is much better than the first version.
有了一款好的产品，如何进行营销推广是接下来最重要的问题。
After having an excellent quality product, we then need to think about how to promote.
依托于谷歌 Play 和 App Store 的平台，全球
complete payment solution.
通过谷歌和 Facebook 等数字广告平台，我们在2年之内获取了超过1亿的用户。
We have gotten more than 100 million users in 2 years through the digital ads platforms such as Google and Facebook.
以上所有的工作全部是位于中国上海的20个团队完成的，这在 PC 时代是不可想象的。
And all the work mentioned above has been accomplished by a 20-member team in Shanghai that would not even be imaginable in PC era.
在移动互联网时代，好的内容会带来爆炸性的传播。
In the era of internet, a great content will lead to rapid spread.
我们 Facebook 主页有1000多万的粉丝 ，YouTube 有超过250万的订阅用户。同时，我们还通过各种机制来鼓励我们的用户来产生更好的游戏内容。
Mobile Legends has reached more than 10 million followers on Facebook page and 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Moreover, we have generated a marketing strategy to encourage our players to publish great contents on their various social media.
Mobile Legends 是 Facebook 直播排名前3的游戏，并且也是 YouTube 观看量排名前10的全球对观看量排名前10的游戏。
Mobile Legends is ranked third for the highest streaming viewers on Facebook live streaming, and ranks 10th on the most viewers in global game on YouTube.
我们大概有50%的用户是观看这些内容之后才来玩我们的游戏。
So as a result, 50% of our users came from those social media platforms.
在线上营销的基础上，如何利用线下推广来引爆重点市场？这里我会拿印尼市场来举例。印尼目前是 Mobile Legends 排名第1的市场。
Based on our users generated from online promotion, the next step is to boost the target market by offline promotion. So I will take our biggest market, Indonesia, as an example.
我们和印尼本地的艺术家一起创作，将印尼著名的神话人物金刚神加入我们的游戏，受到玩家的热烈欢迎。
We cooperated with local artists like Ishiyunato, who is illustrated Gatakacha. So Gatakacha is one of the players' favorite hero from the game at the moment.
同时，我们的游戏已经很早就支持了印尼的巴哈萨语，并且还邀请了印尼著名的影星 Jessica 为我们游戏进行配音。
And also, our game supports Bahasa Indonesia language, even from the earliest version. In addition, we have invited the Indonesia actress Jessica Iskandar as our voice actress.
Esports 也是引爆市场的绝佳手段。
Esports is an excellent alternative boost on the market.
我们连续2年在雅加达举办了 MSC 东南亚杯，有来自7个国家的10支队伍参加比赛。
We held the Mobile Legends Southeast Asia Cup tournament in Jakarta 2 years ago, and 10 teams from 7 countries came to participate and compete.
2018年 MP2 印尼联赛有超过8000支队伍报名，在 Facebook 的直播有超过1000万人的用户观看，观看次数累计超过1亿次，打破了东南亚电竞的纪录。
This year's Mobile Legends Professional League has more than 8,000 teams has registered to compete. The total audience on Facebook streaming is over 10 million, and the traffic is over 100 million, which has broke the record of Southeast Asia Esports.
我们还努力与众多印尼本地的合作伙伴一起打造电竞生态体系。
We are still working on creating an esports ecosystem with many local Indonesia partners.
下面是我们 MSC 第1届的一个视频。 最后我想说，这是最好的时代，小公司也能够有大机会。
In conclusion, I believe that there's no greater time for startup companies to strive in game industry. And thank you. Still, there will be a photo session held on our booth. But first, let us welcome our cosplayers onto the stage. Thank you all, yeah?
Welcome to Mobile Legends. Ajak mama, ajak papa, ajak teman, ajak mantan. Ajak mama, ajak papa, ajak teman, ajak mantan.
Jika dirimu tertarik mencoba sesuatu,
jika kau mencari cara untuk mengisi waktumu,
marilah kawanku bermain bersamaku.
ku yakin game ini pastikan menghibur dirimu.
Cobalah dicoba, Mobile Legends namanya. Game paling disuka, mudah memainkannya.
Bisa main bersama, kita pasti juara. Serang musuhnya, serang musuhnya.
Launch attack. Ayo goyang jempol, bebaskanlah hatimu. Ayo goyang jempol, tentukanlah hero-mu. Mobile Legends, asyik, goyang jempolnya asyik. Bang bang, asyik, goyang jempolnya asyik. Ajak mama, ajak papa, ajak teman, ajak mantan.
Jika hatimu terluka dan membuatmu lesu,
Jika kau mencari cara untuk obati dirimu,
marilah kawanku, hilangkanlah galaumu.
bermain Mobile Legends pastikan hibur dirimu.
Ayo download dulu, enggak pakai nunggu. Takkan buang waktumu, tersenyumlah.
Hero super keren, trust me my friend. Pilihlah hero-mu.
Main bareng aku. Launch attack. Ayo goyang jempol, bebaskanlah hatimu. Ayo goyang jempol, tentukanlah hero-mu. Goyang jempolnya asyik. Bang bang, asyik. Goyang jempolnya asyik. Dari tua dan yang muda, laki-laki perempuan, ayo semua kita mainkan. Ayo goyang jempol, bebaskanlah hatimu. Ayo goyang jempol, tentukanlah hero-mu. Ayo goyang jempol, ayo goyang jempol. Welcome to Mobile Legends. Launch attack. First blood. Godlike. Unstoppable. Legendary. Victory. Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Regional Head Corporate Affairs of TikTok ByteDance, Miss Helena.
Good morning, everyone. It's pretty tough to speak after this performance, but I will try my best. I'm Helena, and I'm here to represent TikTok today. TikTok is a short video platform that allows everybody to be a creator. And really, TikTok's mission is to capture the knowledge, the creativity, and the moments that matter from your mobile phone. We are actually a very diverse platform. You can find very rich content, but we've seen a lot of comedy, dancing, and lip syncing on our platform, and we want to be a fun platform. Most importantly, though, we are an algorithm and an AI-driven platform, and we really focus on special effects. We focus on video editing tools, we focus on face filters, and we focus on challenges within the apps, which makes it fun to have an interactive experience. By doing that, we actually grew our community to a large community of musicians and comedians, and we're growing every day. By now, as I mentioned, we're a global company. We are represented in 150 countries. We have 75 languages in our app, and we also have offices across the world. We actually have one in Jakarta as well. And I am proud to say that in the beginning of this year, we actually surpassed downloads of the big social media companies. Thank you. It's been really, really big news for us as a small team, and we're really proud of it, and we hope we can continue this momentum. So actually, why I think we're also so successful, and the reason why I decided to personally join TikTok, is because we have a really localized strategy whenever we go to a market. We want to make sure that the content you see on TikTok is actually really relevant to you culturally and locally, which is why we have so many offices across the world, and which is why I'm also really honored to speak here today in Indonesia, as our Indonesian community is growing really, really fast. Another point I want to mention is that rather than driving our users to just the big creators or to just the big popular stars and celebrities, we're really trying to serve you content which matters to you. So in our You feed, we serve you content that you have liked before. And by doing that, we might serve you content from someone in India, if you like Bollywood, who only has a couple of hundred followers, but whose content you like. And by doing that, we really enable the small creators to get a broader audience across the world as well. One of my favorite features, and a feature you should definitely try out, is our face recognition feature, or our face filters. They're very unique, and they're very adapted to the country you're in. I think this should show. This is one of them. We have lots of them. Another feature is the human pose recognition. It works a bit like the Wii, the Nintendo Wii, and it can recognize your body and put a skeleton on it, or do this. Yeah, this is our rain feature. Just a few of our really popular features on the app to play around with. Another feature, and is one of my favorite ones, is an augmented reality feature. It means that you can play with figures, or in this case, a rhino in the background. My favorite feature is actually the dinosaur. You can have a dinosaur run into your little video and play with that as well. Just a few examples of what we focus on, and I think this is really where we play, and this is really where our strength is, and this is also how we keep the platform fun.
Is this better?
Everything's great. Another topic I wanted to focus on is our safety tools. We know that a lot of teenagers, or the so-called Generation Z, is actually using our platform, and we think it's a priority for us to keep them safe. So basically, we have community guidelines which determine what is okay and what is not okay on TikTok. We also have a privacy mode. We have a restricted mode. You can block accounts. You can block followers. And we have an external resource center, because we think that's very important. Also, we know that our platform is actually really addictive in a very good way, but we want people to have an offline and online experience. So we've developed a tool where you can get reminded how much time you spend on the platform, and where you can, with a pin, remind yourself to maybe go off the platform after a certain while. Another tool we offer is actually a risk warning tool, which basically shows videos which are fun, but probably done by professionals, like this trampoline video. But it has a little text saying, don't try this at home. Yeah, and another topic I wanted to speak about is the partnerships and programs we have run with various governments in Asia Pacific. Because TikTok is such an interactive platform, and because we can actually reach another generation, the very young generation, we've worked with governments and with tourism bureaus around Asia Pacific to help them understand the platform and to help them reach a younger and different demographic. So this is an example from where we worked with the Asian Games. We actually hosted a workshop with Palembang City and developed stickers with the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the Asian Games. And again, that refers back to our mission to really be locally relevant, so everybody who was at the Asian Games could create little short videos using these stickers we just created for that purpose. I think this is a really great tool for your city or for your government, and if you're interested, please come and find me after, and maybe we can talk about how to use TikTok for your office or for your city. There are just a few other examples. Few examples of how you can present culture and history and tourism to another audience, to the younger audience, and make it fun for them. I think I really like the history one. Another of our success stories actually is Da Nang. Da Nang is a really beautiful city in Vietnam, close to Hoi An, another old city. We actually started working with them only for a short time. And after the first month of onboarding to TikTok, they had more than 100,000 likes. So how we do this work, we actually only help people to onboard on TikTok, but the accounts really grow organically because of the local relevance and because of our algorithm-based tool and feed.
Baby, get up, 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 I know.
This is another story I wanted to share, which is on our partner platform, Douyin. Douyin works really similar to TikTok, but is our app in China. And here we actually worked with historical museums to preserve culture and preserve history. And we're currently working to get 1,000 cultural practice practitioners, heritage practitioners on the platform to again preserve history. We've seen this before. So again, if there are any institutions in the room, we'd love to work with you on this. And finally, wanted to speak a little bit about Indonesia. Indonesia is one of our most vibrant communities, and which is also why we're here today. We drove a campaign around the batik, the traditional Indonesian dress. We're driving these campaigns on a hashtag basis, and we're encouraging our users to share content, to share creative videos around it. This is one is on batik. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Go back. So this is Raffi. He's actually one of my favorite creators in Indonesia. He has millions of followers on Instagram as well, and this is based on our Asian Games campaign, which I talked to before as well. he loves our features and he plays with them a lot. And I think lastly, this is a campaign, Pray for Palu is a campaign with a bit more serious background. This is a campaign we ran after the latest earthquake. It's a hashtag campaign, Pray for Palu, and actually more than 100,000 people participated creating Pray for Palu videos during that time, which I think that was a really heartwarming campaign. So it's all different examples of how to use the platform. While it is fun, it also can be used for different purposes. And of course, it's also a platform for influencers and for celebrities, and they're using it in different ways. We're seeing more and more content coming online, and we have started to work with them as well. Also, I wanted to mention that we have a booth in the conference hall, so while some of you might not be on the app, if you want to check it out or if you want to understand some of the tools and filters better, please let us know. Please come visit us and take some videos. This is some of the very typical content we see, and this is obviously very well liked by our Generation Z audience. So this is it for me. Thanks very much, and have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome expert on media diversity of UNESCO, Mr. Charles Valeran.
Good morning, good morning. Om Swastiastu. Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? Baik ya. Saya baik juga. So we're going to discuss media in a crowded world, and we're going to discuss globalization. Who has heard the word globalization before? Who knows what is globalization? Raise your hand. Oh, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Not so many. Globalization. Oh, yes, I see more hands. Let me go on. So I'm going to go over the context of globalization, media especially, challenges, opportunities, and I'm going to try and be giving you examples of opportunities for people that want to be in the media sector. Globalization is of technology, of the economy, moving people around, moving goods and services, information, cultural expressions, music that we hear that travels, but it's also political integration, economic blocks, ASEAN, European Union, and so on and so forth. The impact of this is both a challenge and an opportunity. I want you to meet Doris McLemore. She died some years ago, and with her died the Wichita language and the Wichita culture, gone forever from the face of the earth. We have 7,100 languages in the world. As you can see, many in Asia, many in Africa, and we have lost, since the 50s, 260 of those languages. It's expected we'll lose half of the 7,000 by the end of the century. That's one every 2 weeks. Our diversity, our cultural expressions are dying as a result, partly of globalization. Of course, there's opportunity in globalization. You have seen and heard in other sessions, this is rapid growth and appetite, a desire to participate in the creative economy, doubling in value over a period of 10 years, more than 8%, and mostly in developing countries. China, of course, India, Indonesia, and so on and so forth. Great appetite. This is media compared to other industries. If you're in the sector, you'll be familiar with television taking the bulk of the marketplace, $300 billion. That's in 2013. It has shifted, we're now in 2018. Below is book publishing. Surprisingly, book publishing is about half the value of television. Then we have internet, and internet has progressed rapidly since then. Box office, recorded music for 15 billion. Gives you a sense of perspective, but it also gives you a sense of the intense competition and appetite, multinationals, startups, and medium-sized companies. This is France. I use France as an example because they were the first one to establish a Ministry of Culture in the 60s. 2.2% and about 30% of that GDP contribution comes from the media sector. Spending on media, Asia Pacific will have been 27 billion. Western Europe, it's a growing part of the economy in this region. Media is the fastest growing region in the world in terms of spending on television. Challenges. Many challenges, and this has been mentioned before. We now have more than 200 over-the-internet media services. This is the geography. As you can see, for the rest of Asia, you'll be familiar with names like Hulu, Youku, you'll be familiar with iFlix, and of course, the big guy, which is Netflix. Now, with more subscribers internationally than in the US, where it started. Borderless media coming to our countries to take the attention of our viewers, attention of the revenues, the advertisers, and eventually not generating much in terms of domestic content. We have to face strong competition. These are the multinationals, most of them Americans, in terms of spending dollars on content. Now, Netflix, again, just went to the stock market to borrow an extra $2 billion. They're going to be investing just this year alone $13 billion on content. The whole Canadian marketplace where I come from is worth $4 billion. The public service broadcaster in Canada, we have one in French, one in English. The guy that controls programming has $100 million to invest in the year. $100 million was Netflix paid for House of Cards, 2 seasons of 13 episodes. That's competition. And it's coming to Indonesia like it is in Canada and elsewhere. Investment in production, investment in promotion. The same Netflix is putting $2 billion just to promote its service, develop sales, enter your homes, and eventually take the money you subscribe, bring it back to headquarters in somewhere in the United States. That's film, it's not television, but it's just to show you blockbusters from Hollywood. 30% will go on marketing of any budget on average, so keep that in mind. When you do content, save a bit of money for promoting yourself, not putting it all into content. These VOD platform, video on demand and on internet platforms in the broader media context are more and more deciding on program acquisition and production based on international trends. This is again Netflix having more subscribers internationally, so therefore making decisions to buy and to show programs that appeal globally, not responding to the needs of specific markets. This is not new, this is film, and to show you again the share of global box office has been increasingly international. So when Hollywood is making movies, it's making movies to appeal to all of our markets and not respond to the cultural diversity and the needs of specific marketplace. And of course, in Indonesia now, you have the Indonesian version of Netflix, because that's where the growth will be coming. With 250, 260 million, you'll have the Indian version of Netflix with 1.2 billion consumers and in Bahasa. If that wasn't enough, the same platforms, the internet platforms, are also capturing what was the foundation of our business model, which was advertising revenues. This is Canadian figures, but I think we could find probably similar in most markets. 70% of all advertising is now controlled by Google and Facebook. So basically, even though we move content to the internet, we say, okay, let's try and compete where they are on the internet. The revenues that are generated by our Canadian content is actually captured in form of advertising dollars by foreign companies. We don't get more revenues if we're successful on the internet from advertising. The issue for us is also one, and you'll face the same, of being discovered. In the ocean, infinite ocean of content, it's fine to be on the platform, but how do you know that people will actually watch? How do you know that the engine, the Google search engine, or in the case of China, Baidu, will come up with a suggestion to look at your content? How will we ensure that in our neighborhoods, we know what other citizens are doing in our cities, in our towns, in our countries? So discoverability is a challenge for all of us. And of course, as you can see, some of the major companies have what so-called black box. We don't know how this algorithm is designed. We cannot access it. We cannot control it. We have to rely on them for it to be transparent. Monetization, I'm going to go over quickly because time is running out. This is old data, but it shows you. If you wanted to have minimum wage in the US, you would have to sell 105 CDs. You would have to sell your album on iTunes 200 times. If you sold songs, almost 2,000 songs, and now with Spotify, you would have to be listened to 180,000 times before you could earn the minimum wage. And if you look closely, iTunes, by the way, which is Apple, will take 30% of sales. That's their overhead for being the distributor of your content. Of course, there are winners. On YouTube, a young fellow is testing toys on YouTube. He has millions of followers, 8 billion views, he made $11 million according to Forbes in 2017. But another story, an artist that was on YouTube had 1 million views, 2 million minutes, and received a check of $166. So you need really a lot of traction, a lot of views, and a lot of subscribers to be able to say, I'm going to earn a living of this. This is going to be my job. In fact, it's estimated you should have at least 10 million subscribers, and you should be churning out up to 3 to 5 videos a week, almost like a business, like a production company, of quality, of value, of engagement for revenues to start flowing back to you. It's not just a one-off. You can't just go online and say, oh, I'm going to make it big. Piracy, I don't need to spend much time on this. This is television revenues. Blue is legitimate, and red is pirated value of content on internet. Big debate, big efforts to curb, to stop piracy, and we will see efforts by countries to achieve that end. And we have below, I don't want to go into much detail, but the ranking of countries, and the United States is actually the country where there is most piracy. China, Brazil, United Kingdom. Surprisingly, some of the most developed economies are the ones that are also heavily involved in piracy. So diversity is at risk, and we have risk for our sovereignty. How can we ensure that this media coming into our countries is not taking away more than it contributes? Funding high-quality local content and giving our national broadcaster, because in many countries the broadcaster is a corner, a pillar of diversity of content, working with the industry and creators. Opportunities. Well, I'll tell you one thing. In globalization, there is opportunity. I was once listening to a concert by Tibetan monks. They were chanting ritual songs, and at the end of the concert, someone said, were you not afraid of being exposed to the Western culture? And the monk in Tibetan language responded, we realized that we're actually protecting our culture by promoting it internationally. So there is protection in promoting and getting your voice and your language and your identity. We have a convention, we have an international instrument. 146 countries at UNESCO came together. It's not enough to have globalization, let's cooperate. Culture is not like cars, it's not like lumber, it carries values, it carries identity, meaning. Let's see if we can strengthen our cultural sovereignty, cooperate to have better policies and measures, and engage with the community so we can build that diversity. It also, if you're interested, under this UNESCO instrument, which obviously Indonesia has ratified, there's a fund to support projects that are local, that are national. There's $100,000 to give you a chance to promote the diversity of your own expression and contribute to that dialogue that is international. Examples of measures that countries have taken as we speak to defend and promote their own expressions. A European quota that is now calling for Netflix and all the other guys to have 30% European content on their platforms. Contributing to national production funds. UK is going to tax the income, the revenue at the source, 2% to make sure that they pay their fair share of income and eventually it flows back into culture. UK has also agreed with the Googles to downgrade, to bring down pirate sites from the recommendations when you look them up. And we have an agreement in Canada for Netflix to invest $500 million. I'm going to switch there. This, because I'm coming to my closing. This is the value chain. This is what I use when I present UNESCO. Measures the value chain and how can we beef up the value. I want you to focus on the red side, educating, research, development, creation. Most people will say, I don't need the middleman. I don't need distribution. I create, I go online. I say in the world of algorithms, you need more than ever the people that know how this operates. You need people that control and understand promotion, distribution to make it happen for your content. So this is about discoverability. And if you want to take a business and you want to help the artistic community and cultural expression, look for developing access to the digital. There's a digital divide. 50% of people in this country don't have access. They're not in the diversity of cultural expressions. Help them to understand literacy, how you operate the platforms. Develop discoverability strategies. My time is up, so I've got to run. Strategies to be online. Search engine, you know, the black box. So don't be stuck in the bubble. Don't be stuck in the echo chamber. Metadata, algorithm auditing. I think this is a very interesting proposition to understand and make sure it's clear and transparent. Storytelling for new platforms, and I'm going to end with that. Interactive ebooks magazine. Here's an example. This is a book, and this is, again, in the news, released on Facebook Messenger, reads like a chat. So this is new storytelling for the internet with narrative that is enriched with video, image, and audio recording. So obviously, this is one area you can go in. And finally, this is the value chain in the book sector, in the traditional book sector. If you pay 100, what the author will receive is 10, and you have the distributor, and you have the bookstore, and you have the publisher. The value chain creates value for everyone in the value chain. We need to reinvent a value chain in the digital era for all these contents in the diversity so we can all benefit. And that's going to be our collective challenge. Thank you.
Please welcome our next speaker, Chief Marketing Officer, GDP Ventures, Mr. Dani Wirianto.
Good morning, guys. All right. Let me do a quick survey. Who's in here playing a video game? Who's in here playing a mobile game? All right. So we all have kids in ourselves. So basically today I'm going to talk about, about esport. So what we learned about the esport throughout the years, I think like we all go through here, like playing the real sport. And thanks to technology, people like start inventing new things, board games, and suddenly become arcade. Who remember this arcade? I think if you remember this, become old. You're already old already. And the third thing is like the console game. So the evolution of the game is keep like getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the computer game is like start inventing like in 1980s. And suddenly now, with a mobile technology, everything just changed. Everything just like wipe out. So when we look at like, mobile technology, what did happen? What did drive them? It's actually, it helped them to, audience to view a mobile competition. So in 2017, there's 360 million watch league of esport competition. Is it a lot? Of course. Compared to the Super Bowl, it's only like 111 million people like watching Super Bowl. And it's about 30 million watching the NBA Finals. Imagine this, people watching a game. So when we look at this, the global esport market is about 1.1 billion. We talk about only a prize pool, okay? A competition money is 1.1 billion. So with that in mind, I think there's several companies in Indonesia is starting like thinking about it. The sound, please.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word that I would go for. Bring a sweat. I don't consider it a sport. No, you do.
Watching people play video games isn't like watching people play football. It's like watching people play fantasy football. It is one more step removed from human activity. You understand?
It's video games. It shouldn't be on a sports network. It's video games.
But can it truly be a spectator sport?
It already is. 71 million watched it last year. They reckon it's going to, by 2017, it'll be 145 million people watching it.
They're actually giving college scholarships for video gaming. And it's even gone to the point that now the government has acknowledged professional video gamers as athletes.
Same way you watch a football match, you can hear the crowd, everyone's cheering the team on, you make friends, these are people you talk to, you play with online. It's all about community, it's being part of something that you're incredibly passionate about.
Though right now, trying to establish vision control at Fort Stadium. The fans take that ambition! Ambition steals the Elder Dragon! He gets away! There's no lives! This is a four-Drake Elder Dragon! He lives! Ambition saves the game once again!
The industry of game is about $10 billion last year's. And in Indonesia alone, it's only 879 million. And it's about 16 in the world. We're the fourth largest population in the world. So there's a room to grow. So what we gonna do about it? So when we think about like esport, why is the esport become a hit? There's a three factor of an esport become a hit. Number one, is shifting from PC to mobile. I mean, all thanks to mobile technology. Mobile technology, it enable people to like basically play anytime, anywhere, and also like playing like around the world. And one thing that like the second thing is the shifting from the single to multiplayers. Now it's no longer me against me, but me against the world. I can like compete with the people in America, or I can compete people in Korea. So number three, I think like one thing that we have to learn about this is the shift is from playing to watching. So the whole ecosystem is start like hyping out because it's more people watch the game. Why the reason they want to watch the game? Because they want to get entertained. They don't want to see the regular TV. They want to see like how people can like beat with the characters. They want to actually get entertained and to learn how to be better. Now, when we talk about watching, is it true? All this like ESPN, Facebook, you know, Disney, ABC, start like using game esport for attracting the new audience because they're declining, they're stagnant. When we look at like the YouTuber, I mean, for God's sake, this one single person is about 1.3 billion view last year. And like when we talk about like total subscriber, it's about 17 million. That's like bigger than a country. You know, it's a huge market. And when we look at like why the market is growing, look at this.
Heads up high, falling from the sky. It is time for a magic trick. Brace yourself. We are standing to dream bigger. Ring the bell. The time is now. We are gathering as one. Lights and shadows sitting in the darkness. We are rising from the ground. Let them know, leave no doubt. We are looking for you. We are ready. We are Paris.
A world famous football club is starting like now everybody having like their own esport club. Why? The prize pool is $1.1 billion. How much is the prize pool for a Premier League? So everything is about competition the ladder. So when we take a look on this, GDP Venture and with the Kincher.com, we look at it this. Okay, what is the competition out there in the world? So we see the World Championship, but most of them is derived from a publishers. So a game company create a competition. So it's a GSE, ESL, WCG, and of course there's a local tournament everywhere and around the world. They're like, you know, fighting for a prize competition from $1 million to $100 million. So what about National League, like Premier League, like, you know, Italy League? So there's none exists in the world. So therefore, we think, you know what? We should build National League in Indonesia. Let's become a sample. It's because the whole idea about National League, it create a strong ecosystem. It build a players to become a rock star. So from the rock star, it's creating like a sustainable business. People are starting to become idolized. People start buying merchandise. People start watching. So therefore, we have an idea to creating the National League, the first National League that playing 4 games in Indonesia.
Windy hampir saja mati dan what a quick shot. Gol di Kalingga dan Gigi Gol. Alex Bell, what a play. Jane di dalam toilet. Masih 61 yang keluar dari sini Windy.
Thank you. So, my mom always told me, don't play game too much. My God, now is the one gamer, the YouTuber, every time he's appearing, he get paid $1 million. I think I'm a wrong business right now, to be honest with you. And I told my mom, like, Mom, your advice is very bad. So, this is the first National League that role play, that like 4 games, 2 platforms, 12 clubs, 48 teams, 1 nation. So the reason we want to doing this is we want to build a right ecosystem. We want to making sure, you know, the regulation and management is in place. Everybody has knowing what they want to do. And second thing that we're focusing on is community development. We want more players. We want more watchers. You know, hopefully with all of this that we're focusing on, it's gonna create a management club system. I mean, when management club system appear, it will create a team achievement. And when the team achievement, it will build individual skill. This is the first time Indonesian can win point blank #1 in the world and win $10 million prize pool. It's a little kid, probably from Banyuwangi, win a world competition. This is one thing that we see that like a potential to bring a nation to the world. So these are the 4 games that we play. Yes, it's still import game. We don't want to try to create new game. We just adopt the game that is like they already like play like by many people. So this is all the pro team, the 12 pro team, and they have to provide 4 teams each to play each game. So they keep fighting every week, every Friday. That's why we call Battle Friday. So in the ESPL, our goal is to connect the game publishers to be like, you know, have a better business. And also encourage like all the startup that has like games so they can get out. And the second things, all the new players, you know, they're like from this 15 years old kid to like even like 45 years old kid, man, like to join the competition. And so what happened is the brand will starting it, the Mercedes, you know, the Red Bull. If you pay attention to redbull.com, it's not an extreme sport anymore, it's all e-sport. And the third things is the audience fans. With that, with 4 in mind, we can like create a better ecosystem so the kids will be useful, you know, when they're playing the game. So my mom advice, it can be wrong. So I think like, you know, in the futures, you know, all the esports are gonna be like blooming everywhere in the world. I think it's not, you know, it helps a nation to become unified and to become like, you know, having like more like competition spirit. And with that, I'm closing it. Thank you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a short networking break, and the sessions will resume here at the plenary hall at 11 a.m. Please be informed that events merchandise is available for purchase in one of the booths outside. Thank you.
rider. The low rider is a little higher. The low rider drives a little slower. Low rider is a real goer. Hey. Rider knows every street, yeah. Low rider is the one to meet, yeah. Low rider don't use no gas.
Andai kau di sini, ku ungkap rasa cinta. Saat rindu melanda, gelisah di jiwaku. Mungkinkah kau rasa gundah di hati? Andai dapat berbisik dalam belahan jiwa, agar juga kau rasa hasrat yang menggelora. Rindu ini terasa indahnya, andai kau ada di sini bersamaku berbagi rasa. Ingin ku ungkap semua
All participants kindly proceed to the plenary hall immediately and please be seated. The programs will start in a few minutes. Thank you.
Aku tergoda, sebenarnya aku ingin sekali mendekatimu, memadu kasih. Namun sayang, malu rasanya, biar ku cari nanti caranya.
Ladies and gentlemen, join our curatorial tour to Art Bali today after the closing ceremony. Shuttle service will be available at the East Lobby.
Sebagai tanda aku tak sendiri, percayalah baru pertama.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CEO Badir Program for Technology Incubators and Acceleration in Saudi Arabia, Mr. Nawaf Ataf Al-Shahaf.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to present a case study about Badir program of innovation in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So this presentation will give a case study about how Saudi Arabia did it in the incubator and accelerator industry. So let's begin with the vision of Saudi Arabia that was launched 3 years ago. So the vision is 2030. It has 3 themes: a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and ambitious nation. So as you can see, it all lies in innovation. And this is Saudi Arabia vision for 2030. So it is the importance of the powerhouse of a hub, and it is the heart of the Arab and Islamic world. This vision, in order for us in Saudi Arabia to reach this level, we need the tools, which we call it National Transformation Program. So this program will allow us in Saudi Arabia to reach to this vision. So we have 433 initiatives. We have 96 strategic objectives. As you can see, there is 3 main pillars in this program, which is achieving government operation excellence and enhancing standard of living. And the most important one, which is my presentation today, is improving economic enablers. Economic enablers, so we have tools, which is Badir program, one of those initiatives, which one is the one in the middle, as you can see. So today's case study will focus on this vertical, and we will use a Badir program for that. So what is Badir program? Badir program, it is a national incubator and accelerator program in Saudi Arabia. It started with one location 10 years ago in Riyadh. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia. Nowadays, this program is expanded and expanded in 8 locations in Saudi Arabia. This program now is leading the Arab network from United Nations in all Arab world for the next 3 years. How did Badir program achieving that? this is what we will focus on. Today, I've been asked to give one more slide about lesson learned, so we will discuss this today. So this program served entrepreneurs. We serve entrepreneurs, individuals. So it is not research-driven, it is individual-driven. So we are aiming the public, Saudi and non-Saudi, locals and foreigners as well. So this is the secret sauce of this program. These services have been developed during 10 years. Myself, I was working as a business developer in this program 7 years ago. And when I had the opportunity to lead this program, I worked with my team to really solve the issue with entrepreneurs that we were seeing these challenges. So what we provide mentorship and advisory. We provide HR service and infrastructure. We provide HR service from universities. We do these deals with them. So we provide startups with HR support, paid and non-paid. Office space, we have 8 locations. Once you are in the program, immediately you have 8 offices around the kingdom. This is access to market. So we are talking access to market. We are talking access to international market, and I will explain why and how. Legal and accounting. Entrepreneurs, if they don't know how and what they're spending, how can they going to have their next deal, investment? So we are responsible to hire a specialized agent in accounting to do their books. Actually, we do it internally. So this is all shared services that we have, and then we build on it in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Of course, we provide engineering and prototyping. This is for manufacturing project, manufacturing product as well. In this slide, we show the impact of our project. So we have a high-tech entrepreneurs in Saudi Arabia shifting and attracting investors. So as you can see here, we have more than 300 startups in Badir program. So it's by itself, it's a community. It's attracting entrepreneurs to be in with this community. So we believe in community building. This is very important. This is where entrepreneurs coming together and trying to communicate, investors, lesson learned. So this is the impact of the program. Currently, we have 380 startups under this program umbrella. They have a direct employment of more than 2,000 direct employment for those startups. Of course, the economic impact, they multiply this number by 6. But I prefer today to just mention the direct numbers which we have, which is great. The economic impact for the Saudi economic GDP is around, here in Saudi Riyal, so if we translate it to dollars, it is around $560 million. This is only one program in Saudi Arabia, which is great. So after we settled, and after the program is being very strong in the Arab world and in Saudi Arabia, we said we have to go extra mile. So we encourage to have the IP. We need to support the IP holders. So we have a special program now. We call it IP to Market. This is accelerator program for IP. The IP holder will have a grant to develop their IP within this program. This is like 6-month program. We work with the inventor to develop and commercialize their IP. We went to extra mile to open something called soft landing program. And this is great. And this is an area of collaboration of Indonesian entrepreneurs. We will have entrepreneurs coming from this country to Saudi Arabia. All locations is open to them to work with us through incubator to incubator level. So we will be one body with the incubator system in Indonesia. This is the new program. They will come to us and we will work together on access to market. We will make their life easier by link them to our system, and otherwise we will have Saudis, entrepreneurs coming to this country, Indonesia, and link them to the incubators. So this is kind of services we provide. We have now 10 companies. This program is very new. So what achievement we got? We got this achievement in 2017, which is awarded Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Award for the best incubator in Arab world. And we got another one, which is we are really proud of, is from United Nations ITU, that we are leading now the Arab world incubators. As you know, incubator, we have network, so we talk to each other in Arab world. So we are leading this network for the next 3 years, starting 2019, and this is really something we get proud of, because this opened the stage for all incubators, all startups from Morocco or from Emirates or from any Arab world. They can work together through this program. Finally, last month we get award as well from a Future Enterprise Award as a leading technology incubator as Arab world as well. So this is all international recognition. So here I will let you know what is lesson learned through our journey. How did we succeed in building this program? So at the beginning it was very difficult how to think like entrepreneurs. So governance is important. If a country want to build such program, they need to isolate the management of such program from the government bureaucracy. They need to, because this program, they need to act fast. We are working with entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, they have a daily operation, daily decision. We cannot get them involved on paperwork. So we need to isolate it. And this is a very difficult thing to do. And thanks to King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology, they really, this is the sponsorship of this program. They succeeded to do this. And this is a very important lesson. We came to understand the hard skills is very important for entrepreneurs. So we are helping the entrepreneurs within. So we provide business development services. So we work with entrepreneurs. And this is really something important and not usual to work with entrepreneurs in business development. And we provide this. So this is lesson number 2. We believe that team comes first. We interview thousands of startups. Actually, it is the point and the weight of entrepreneurs that he come alone is going down. We prefer to have a team, even if the idea is impressive, because we believe the team will drive the project. So this is very important. Teamwork, team building is important, and this is important criteria of how to do in this. Even equity, if the entrepreneurs, he holding all the equity for himself and giving nothing for the partners, give them salaries or this is not really good for us. You are working as a team, so we really advise that should be a teamwork, and this mentality is very encouraged by our program. Startup must follow the lean and agile method. This is very important. At the end, the market will judge the success of these entrepreneurs, not our program, not anyone. If he succeeds to sell and make profit, so he is successful. So we encourage them to not stay and develop their idea for years and years and years. Just go and launch your vision and product and start to improving this in the way moving forward. Community management is very important. And this is big shift that we are taking now in Badir program. We are going to change our model in focusing on community, because talking with each other and being isolated in your office, this will not help entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs lean to talk to each other, learn from each other. Grant versus equity. In the beginning of our journey, we were giving grant, throwing grant to entrepreneurs. This was a mistake. We stopped that. We are not going to give grant. We are going to give equity. Yes, we will help you. We will give you $50,000, $100,000, but return for equity. We learned that spoiling entrepreneurs is not the way to go. And this we learned it by the hard way. So I know that a lot of incubator experts have their view, but in our experience, getting equity will really be a major thing that will let entrepreneurs to really behave and appreciate, because free money is never appreciated. They will think that it is their right, and it's not. So this is lesson learned. However, this is very important, grant versus equity. Let's differentiate now between IP supporting and entrepreneurs. IP, they need grant for IP development, because IP, they need a lot of fund to develop their IP. And we are doing this. So we are now talking about the entrepreneurs. Access to finance. Access to finance is very important. We learned we have to enable and to have the VCs and to have exit and to support angel investor network. So all these things that we learned from our experience. Working with other countries in incubators, access to another countries, this is very important. And in the beginning, we learned having a Saudi, working with Saudi, and really having 300 plus companies working with each other is not going to work. So we open our incubators for non-Saudis. We are aiming to have 5 to 1. 5 Saudis, or four Saudis and 1 non-Saudi company, by creating this changing in community, changing in behavior, changing in nationality. This is very important. And now we are going to this direction. And I hope in 1 year we will see many and many of Indonesian startups with our program. Thank you very much. And I hope this was useful.
Welcome Denmark Creative Industry Growth Agency, Mr. Troels Seidenfaden.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Troels Seidenfaden, and I'm from Denmark. I'm a designer. I'm also the former president of Design Denmark, the Danish Design Association. 8 months ago, the Minister of Business, the Minister of Culture, and the Minister of Innovation in Denmark pointed out 13 persons from the creative business environment in Denmark to create a growth team for creative businesses. We were to make recommendations to the Danish government on how to make the creative business growth. We deliver our recommendation last Monday, so what you will hear today is breaking news. We see the creative businesses in Denmark as gaming, music and movies, fashion, furniture and interior design, industrial design and architecture, publishing, advertising and communication, food and jewelry. I'll give you some figures for beginning. Creative businesses deliver a significant contribution to Denmark's total economics. 60% of total Danish private sector turnover. That means 47 billion euros. It led to 8% of total Danish private sector employment and that means 120,000 people. 4% yearly growth, and that is actually the double of all other industries in Denmark. 8.5% of total Danish export, in euro, 12 billion. And in account for 10% of total Danish corporation taxes, 47 billion euros. Most of the recommendations we gave the government reply to the UN Sustainability Development Goals. And that is very important for us to reflect what's happening out in the world these days. So using the Sustainability Development Goals is very important. Digitalization creates new opportunity for making products and services in the crossfield between traditional creative crafts and digital technologies. Increases demand after user-oriented solutions and experience which engage retain customers. Denmark has a unique creative DNA. We know it and we want to use it and we want to strengthen it. Danish values such as trust, humanity, curiosity, and inclusion from a special creative Danish DNA, which is expressed in the development of both mode and expressions, stories, products, and services across all Danish creative industries. In Denmark, we understand the value of putting human needs in the center, both in the physical and in the digital world. And we understand the value of putting Earth in the center and designing sustainable solutions. This gives Danish creative business a special advantages to seize new growth opportunities. We had a vision and we had 5 focus areas to deliver to the government. The vision is Denmark shall, in 2025, be an international leading growth environment for creative businesses, where innovation is created with human needs and the planet in the center. And the 5 focus areas are creative competences and interdisciplinary shall strengthen innovation. Access to risk capital shall increase investment in new and digital businesses. Public-private collaboration shall ensure innovative development environments. Enforcement of international property rights shall be promoted well-functioning, making for creative content. Internationalization and mutual tale created about Denmark's creative DNA shall foster international silence and increase exports. These are some of the recommendations we gave the Danish government, and I won't read them all. The organizer has this presentation, so you can ask for it and you can study it closer. You can also go to the Danish government's website and see the full report. So the expected result from the growth team's recommendation, I know we aim quite high, but we believe that 50% increase in Danish creative business export towards 2025. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary General of D8, Organization for Economic Cooperation, His Excellency Mr. Ku Jafar Kushari.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Good morning dan selamat pagi. Before I begin my speech, allow me to convey my sincerest condolences to the people of the Republic of Indonesia on the very sad and unfortunate plane crash that claimed the life of 189 people. I would like to share our heartiest sympathies with those who have lost their beloved ones and express that we stand in solidarity with the people of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, I would like to say that it is a distinctive privilege and singular honor for me to be given the opportunity to address this prestigious conference. I would like to thank the Republic of Indonesia and the Indonesian Agency for Creative Economy, BECRAF, for bringing such an important issue to the attention of our organization. As the biggest economy and one of the fastest growing markets among the 8 member states, we appreciate Indonesia's leading role in holding the first ever World Conference on Creative Economy, giving us the unique opportunity to connect with and learn from the world-famous innovators, builders, and creators representing different social, cultural, business, and technology sectors. It is my firm belief that through our deliberation, with the valuable contributions of all the speakers, we will open up new avenues of discussion to uncover the creative potential of the developing world and build a new environment for the young, bright, and dynamic individuals of our countries. D8 is an economic organization founded in 1997 by 8 developing countries, namely Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Turkey. The aim of our organization is to increase economic cooperation among our member states to boost economic growth, sustain development, and promote the well-being of our citizens. In doing so, we have focused our attention in 6 priority areas, namely agriculture, trade, transportation, industry, energy, and tourism. Through the 20 years of its existence, the aid has been successful in building bridges through know-how sharing in these 6 priorities. That being said, moving towards the second phase of the life cycle of our organization and observing the massive changes brought forth by the digital revolutions of 21st century, we are realizing the importance of one element in particular, namely the human capital and its potential to transform our economies. The 8 countries in total account for almost $4 trillion of GDP and $1.5 trillion of export and $100 billion of intra-trade. But the real novelty of the aid is that it is home to 1.1 billion people, meaning 1 in every 7 people in the world is living in the aid. And this 1.1 billion comes with remarkable ethnic and cultural diversity. Creative economies are the key to convert this massive demographic power to economic growth, employment, and opportunity for the future generations. Before I elaborate on the current endeavors of our organization, allow me to remind you that the 8 member states are predicated on the biggest civilizations, and they are home to some of the most remarkable achievements of human history. From the oldest university of the ancient world, located in Urfa, Turkey, to the magnificent library of Alexandria in Egypt, from the 600 years old ancient bazaar of Tabriz in Iran, to the historic trade and cultural exchange centers of Malacca and Georgetown in Malaysia, from the earliest examples of indigenous architecture and flourishing iron industry in Sukur, Nigeria, to the egalitarian farming practices of the Subak system in Bali, Indonesia, from the best example of Islamic architecture in the mosque city of Baghat in Bangladesh, to the exceptional examples of Muslim military architecture in Rohtas Fort in Pakistan, the 8 member states have a deep-rooted history interwoven with tradition, culture, creativity, and human achievement. Therefore, we as the 8 member states do not need to seek out creativity, but to build up an inclusive environment so that creativity manifests itself. In order to achieve that, we as policymakers need to come up with smart and well-aimed solutions to uncover the true potential of our human capital. As you know, the old way of doing business was to rely on massive capital investment and aim at specific sectors, an approach proven obsolete in the face of digital revolution. The new way is to aim for the innovative mindset from whatever background it is coming from and creating the maximum impact with optimal funding. As D8, we are very much eager to support this new approach by all financial and institutional means available to us. At this point, allow me to elaborate on some of the successful initiatives D8 has embarked upon. In 2017, we have signed an MOU with the Islamic Development Bank, IDB, a scheme that has granted us access to one of the world's leading financial resources. The MOU envisages cooperation in areas of implementations of joint projects and SME finance, as well as allocations of scholarships through IDB scholarship program and exchange of knowledge and information. We are also actively encouraging our member states to utilize the science and innovation platform of IDB, namely Engage and Transform Network. Engage is a digital hub which aims at accelerating economic and social progress in the developing world through the power of science, technology, and innovation. Engage offers 3 main services: matchmaking, technology transfer, and call for innovation. Through Engage, innovators, SMEs, private sector, NGOs, companies, and government will benefit from tailored mentoring services. Transform Fund is a new multi-billion-dollar fund that will bring about meaningful change of millions of people by giving every scientist, technologist, and innovator the opportunity to make a difference to the world around them. Linked to the Engage Hub, Transform aims at turning innovative ideas into real development solutions and provide seed money for innovators, startups, and SMEs. Another funding mechanism initiated by the D8 Secretariat is the D8 Project Support Fund. The fund aims at financing pre-feasibility and feasibility studies of projects that bear significance for the economic and social endeavors of our organization. As the D8 Secretariat, we have initiated talks with the UN agencies such as FAO and UNCTAD to make best use of the fund as a leverage for the agriculture and trade projects. We are also accepting project proposals from the bright entrepreneurs of our member states. Apart from the funding schemes, we are working relentlessly to strengthen the intellectual and scientific infrastructure of the D8 member states. At this point, Allow me to highlight the novel initiative of D8 Network of Pioneers for Research and Innovation, or D8 NPRI. The purpose of the network is to connect leading universities of D8, use the current available expertise, and synergize them to gain maximum benefits that shall be useful to all. D8 NPRI shall be the nursery for the research and innovation to cater for the needs of our growing industries. Complementary to D8 NPRI, we are on the verge of establishing the D8 International University in Hamadan, Iran. The university will admit graduate and postgraduate students from D8 member states and provide us with the much needed technical and scientific impetus. Our vision is not confined by any means, and we use the power vested in us to cater for the needs of our member state as to untap the true creative potential of our citizens. In this regard, we are initiating talks with development agencies to delve into the possibilities of extending microfinance to young entrepreneurs, as well as the economically disadvantaged groups in our countries. Together with relevant stakeholders, we are further exploring the potential of blockchain technologies and how D8 can benefit from the expertise accruing from these new schemes. We are assessing alternative methods of SME finance in our countries, including the highly effective method of crowdfunding, and exploring ways to initiate know-how and best practice sharing among the member states. As I said, we are not confined by any means but our imagination. To give you a very solid example of how D8 approaches new project, I would like to present you the D8 payment card project developed by a Malaysian fintech company, Comaps. The card aims at enabling member states to use their local currency in trade and provide a new ecosystem that will enable us to reduce the dominance of foreign currencies, especially in foreign payment and settlement. This will be the beginning of a new financial system that will enable us to use the currency of our choice to settle out financial transactions. I want to bring one issue to your kind attention. Comaps approach D8 and not the other way around. That means we did not seek for creativity, but provided the necessary means for the revelations of creative mindset. I encourage all entrepreneurs and bright minds in our member state to take this as an example of D8's inclusive approach to creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, prominent international organizations have differing views about the future of the global economy. Some predicting a leap for the developing nations, and some maintaining their reservation. However unpredictable the future may be, determination and ambition always give one a head start, especially in economic affairs. With this in mind, D8 has formulated the decennial roadmap 2020 to 2030, in line with the lofty targets set by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. In this pivotal roadmap, among many things, we reiterate our commitment to promote and enhance the contributions of private sector, in particular SMEs and entrepreneurs, who are the actual creators of innovation. I hereby encourage the Government of Republic Indonesia, being our important member of the D8, who is a leading country in these fields, to endorse the inclusions of creative economies to the roadmap in order to tailor our focus on this highly promising area. I would like to excite you that the D8 member state will be in the list of the world's top 24 economies in 2050. And we all together will be the world's third biggest economic power, with a combined GDP of US $38 trillion. However, this is no gainsaying that this is impossible without the timely and effective support extended to the creative individuals and creative economies in our countries. I am hopeful that this conference will mark the adoption of a new and fresh viewpoint for our member state and developing world as a whole. I thank you very much for your attention. Terima kasih.
Please welcome founder and CEO, Elevation Barn, Mr. Will Travis.
Selamat siang. I'm going to do my presentation in Indonesian now. I wish. So I think I'm the last speaker here today for the conference. So I think it's my duty to represent the speakers that we give the WCCE team a big round of applause for this great conference, right? And thank you. So I want to try something quickly. You were all just clapping there, which was fantastic. I want you all just to clap, and I want you to clap all at the same rhythm, at the same time. Okay? So when I say go, I want you all to start clapping, and as quickly as you can, start clapping at the same rhythm, right? That makes sense? Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. All right, so within 3 claps, you all prove to me that you're creative. You all prove to me that you're creative because you listen to each other, you constructively supported each other, and you united together to come up with a solution in how you were clapping. So my presentation won't be a waste of time, I hope. So before I start, one last quick exercise. It's nearly the end of the day. On 3, could you all shout out your names to me, please? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Somebody wasn't shouting their name over here, I heard that. Okay, so now I know who you are, a little bit who I am. My name is Will. I'm a fortunate resident that is now living here in Bali, in Indonesia. So I'm living on the island of the gods, and I'm living this new world, which is fantastic. I've spent the last 27 years being a creative industry expert. I've been running 4 of the world's most progressive creative agencies, a company called Attic, a company called Dentsu in America, a company Sidley out of Montreal, and I'm a partner in a company called C2, which is an innovation conference out of Montreal. All these different worlds have let me allow the privilege of working with great creatives to come up with some of the best solutions to some of the biggest challenges on the world. Those have been challenges for some of the world's biggest brands. And there's a lot of lessons, as we're all here gathered today as united creatives, that we can learn from the application of the creative industry to the global challenges we all face. I'm also a social entrepreneur, and I've launched a new platform where I'm uniting leaders together to make a difference by leveraging the power of creativity. And I'm also an explorer. I've traveled through over 60 countries in the world, lived in 6 of them, and I'm now here in Bali, as I mentioned. And it was here in Bali that my life was transformed by this young chap here, Sunny. I was motorbiking a volcano here in Bali called Badir. How many know Badir? Okay, beautiful place up there. And I've been motorbiking with the Indonesian motocross champion, this guy Kadek, who is a credible athlete, and we were exhausted, as anybody has ever done with another athlete. You realize how they push you to a new level. After riding for 6 hours, we came off the volcano, and standing on the road ahead of us was this little boy. As we got closer, he stood with his hands like this. And I was used to children in Bali standing like this. some big white bloke in gear coming towards me, they love that. But this little boy was holding his hands like this. And next to him was a tricycle, a little three-wheel bike. Nobody else there, and so he slowed down the bike. But he didn't move. He kept holding his hands like this. And it's only in the last 10 feet that I realized he was holding his eyes like this because he was blind. He was a 4-year-old child riding a tricycle on a dirt path on the side of a volcano, alone, blind. I stopped the bike quickly, I got off the bike, and I kneeled down next to him. And he was shaking. Cadet sat down next to me, and he started talking to the little boy. And the little boy was just there playing. This was his home. And he started smiling. He smiled because he's always wanted to see a motorbike. He'd always wanted to know what these loud noises that were coming past him from the volcano were. And I picked him up. I put him in front of myself, and he sat there like a child having his first candy, like an adult having their first incredible experience. He was so happy. And at that moment, it changed my life. At that moment, I realized that what I've been doing, I've been working with the largest brands in the world. When I left my last company in October, I was working with 7 of the most innovative companies in the world, helping them define a true North Star, a true purpose for what their products and services stood for, so that people like us would fall in love with them. Our technologies, the things that probably in everybody's hand. You love that as much, you probably wake up with that first and go to bed with that more than your partner. First thing you do in the morning, right? Ah, good morning. You love it. And that's what I'd done all my life. I'd made you fall in love with these brands. Tiffany's, Coca-Cola, BlackRock if you're in the financial words, your Toyota, Netflix. And I'd won hundreds of global Cannes Lions on behalf of the teams that I've been working with. But it paled to insignificance when I suddenly thought, how as global leaders in the creative industry are we applying the superpowers of helping people identify who they really are to people and what people can do versus just products and services? And so I took this passion of helping me define who I was and applying it to a purpose. Because I believe if you do not know what you stand for, you cannot be as impactful in your communities. And if your communities do not know what they stand for, you can't impact the world. And the world needs our help. This is the time for creatives to unite, to have an impact. Why? Because every day in our creative jobs, we face wall after wall after wall of objection, of no, it's not good enough, that's not the solution, think a different way. And we're used to it. When we're faced with challenges and issues, we know how to think past those walls and make a difference. Apply that skill to global challenges, and suddenly we're transformed. So I launched a platform called the Elevation Barn. Elevation Barn because it's about uniting leaders from cross disciplines in a barn-raising mindset that everybody has a purpose, everybody has a superpower, and if applied correctly, we can make a massive difference on this planet. So I do these at epic locations around the world. My favorite here is on the east coast of Bali. But what I do is I unite them behind the power of creativity. Why creativity? Because it ignites passion. If I'm passionate about what I'm doing, if you're passionate about that phone, if I take it off you, if it breaks down, you will forgive it. You will forgive it for breaking down. You will allow it to be perfected over time. And that passion, if you're passionate about something, you will fight for something. So the process is about how do we want to be passionate about the challenges we face. It stimulates solutions. In many countries of the world, creativity is now harnessed as the superpower to make a difference. I come from a small island called England, the Great Britain, where Tony Blair in the 90s reignited the power of creativity so it was becoming an acceptable platform to make a difference. Indonesia has that same thing. The reason I now live in Indonesia is you have a culture that's based on art and creativity and storytelling about bringing things to life. And that is a huge natural superpower that I believe this country has an incredible need to apply in the world to make change. What does this do? It delivers our future. When you're thinking about what's in the road ahead, when you're determined to make a difference as you go down that road, our future will be made. And this is a petri dish of allowing that to happen. How do we unite to do it? Because also when you're doing creative things, when you're engaged with creative platforms, it makes you ageless. How many of you feel that you're 10 years younger than your actual age? Right? Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm acting like such a child. I feel like I'm 21. Somebody opened the door for me yesterday and said, no, please, you're older than I am. Let me go. I was like, seriously? I still think I'm 21. I am 21. What am I doing thinking? I wish. You're right. Thank you for that. No hecklers. But if you feel ageless, you feel you can do anything. My daughter's just gone to university. She's going to a new country, no family, no friends, doesn't know where she's going to be. She's moving into a room with a person she doesn't know who it is for a year. They speak a different language, and she can legally drink 3 years younger than in America, which she's really happy about. We don't take risks like that. We try and change jobs and we're terrified. When they're 21 or her when she's 18, it's exciting. And so that allows creativity to drive a new thing, which is purpose. When we're driving purpose, we're unstoppable. If you're determined to do something, as we are as leaders, as we should be to make change, if it's all about purpose, then we'll make a difference. So doing that allows your own personal growth, which means we can now take on global challenges. And here's how I'm applying the elevation bond to my challenges. I'm working with Dr. Sylvia Earle, the most prolific oceanographer of our time. I'm working with Hotel Tugu on the earthquake destruction that's been happening in Lombok. And I'm working with Nadia Hutugulung on how she's trying to help save the Sumatran elephants and the orangutans in Kalimantan. If I can apply my creative way of getting over walls and unite other great leaders to think, we can smoke jump challenges at a pace that is unfathomable. That's our duty as a creative community, to take on these challenges and make a difference. I'll give you one example of how that's been applied. You know Nadia and you know Lombok, but maybe you don't know Sylvia. Why is she important? She's actually the first woman to have been appointed chief scientist on the US National and Atmospheric Administration. She's 84, and there isn't one person in this room that could keep up with her. I suggested to her yesterday as I was touring her around Green School that I hold her hand as she walked down the steps. She pushed my hand away and said, how old do you think I am? Didn't answer that. Never ask a lady her age. But she is working on saving our oceans, 2/3 of our planet. And that is her purpose, her unwavering purpose to make a difference. And she showed me the hope spots of the world. These are registered hope spots of conservation, which is allowing us to save our oceans. They're aiming to make 10% of our oceans safe and protected. We're at 6% now, and they have 2 years to fulfill this dream. I sat with Sylvia and I said, that's fantastic, we're here in Bali. Where's the Indonesian one? We don't have one. We don't have one. We're the largest nation in the world that has oceanfront beaches. We have more islands than any other country in the world, and we don't have a hope spot to protect our islands or our land. Why is that important? Because it puts us on the global map that we're making a difference, that we're committed. So I said to the Elevation Barn Collective, we've got to make a difference. I live here, I'm not sitting passively by. So he said, let's look at the island. Let's look at the beautiful people. Let's look at the beautiful needs that are there. And I connected with a school where my little daughter is privileged enough to be, a school that is built about cultural diversity and having a global impact, the Green School. And I challenged them. I said, Mission Blue wants to put a hope spot in Bali. We have children, we have parents that aren't just from international. 10% must be Balinese. It's an expanded global platform and we need to make a difference. And I brought Dr. Earl to the Green School. I united her, with the school itself. And now we're looking and building with the Green School to place a hope spot here in Bali. My time's up. I'd like you to look at one other case study a little bit later when you get a chance, and look at what Palau has just done. It's the first nation on the planet that has now made it law that when you enter Palau, you sign a pledge in your passport that you will conserve their land, that you will sign to make a difference, that you will not trash, you will not take coral, you will look after the people, and you'll share your beautiful stories. It's the first country. This should be the second country. We have a duty as people coming onto these islands to make a difference versus pollute your oceans. And that's what Palau has done. They've got it through. Why? Because they engaged global creativity, an advertising agency called Havas, to make a difference and create a campaign to make that change and spark the imaginations and passions of the nation. So to solve global challenges, we need to unite diverse perspectives. You proved it when I walked in that you could unite together within 3 claps. We're naturally herd animals. We're naturally wanting to help each other. The world is being driven by pathetic little people that are trying to keep us apart. The creative community has never been that. It's about uniting. We need to respect governments and creativity because we all have ambitions. And by uniting and understanding each other, we can match in harmony. Great couples are never the same people. They have differences, but together they make harmony and they make beautiful differences. That's what our duty is to work together. And finally, you need to engage platforms like Elevation Barn or other platforms here around the world where people celebrate uniting difference and creativity. So let's unite together, join our tribe, and make a difference in this world. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to address the closing remarks, please welcome Vice Chairman, Indonesian Agency for Creative Economy, Mr. Ricky Pesik. And Director General for Multilateral Cooperation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Febrian A. Rudiak.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, creative people of the world. We have come to the end of our conference, the first of its kind, the World Conference on Creative Economy. The conference is a testament that through partnership and collaboration, we can produce something meaningful. Throughout the 3 days conference, more than 2,500 academicians, business people, communities, media, international organizations, and government from all around the world gathered to exchange ideas, information, promote their creative products, collaborate, and build networks. It has been truly inclusive, attracting and embracing everyone from different backgrounds. This would not have been possible without all of you. So please join me in thanking all creative minds that has made the conference possible.
Dear friends of creative economy, the conference showcases the power of creative economy where barrier no longer exists, where everybody can be part of creative economy. It relies on creativity, a spirit of invent novel ideas, create fresh products and services that will change people's lives together. Indeed, the conference has shown that creativity has solid potential to be the currency to assist solve global problems and even be a prominent part in the global effort to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. During the meeting of the Friends of Creative Economy, 300, no less than 300 representatives from more than 30 countries agreed to strengthen partnership to elevate creative economy. We agreed to establish the Center of Excellence for Creative Economy in Indonesia. This center will serve as a platform for creative economy players from around the world to work together, expanding opportunities for all of you to showcase your creative minds on the global stage.
The potential of creative economy is enormous, and together we should tap into this potential and opportunities. But that will only possible through collaboration from everyone that is involved in creative economy. Ideas have to be combined with resources, information, network, and knowledge. These are the essential elements if we want to tap into what creative economy can offer. And that is the core objective of this conference. And it has been truly great pleasure for us to work with all of you to host these great events. Creative products from Indonesian startups and unicorns were on display during the conference, and I believe have successfully shown the world of the great potential of what Indonesian creativity can produce. You can also have witnesses more than 10 memorandum of understanding on this stage yesterday. I certainly would only strengthen our cooperation in this field. Remember what Her Excellency Ibu Retno Marsudi said yesterday? The 3 principles in this diplomacy that I believe also fit best in creative economy? Yes, cooperation, cooperation, and cooperation. Throughout history, civilization has been developed through creativity, culture, technology, literature, music, arts, and many more were invented and developed through creativeness. And all of you are now part of that process of building better civilization for the future through your creativeness and inventiveness.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will not end the WCCE left hanging with no clear way forward. During the 3-day conferences, while some of you were enjoying inspiring talk by prominent speaker on stage, or maybe connect and collaborate with other creative fellows of the Creative Village, diplomat and international organizations were productively deliberating and negotiating an outcome document that will be proudly called as the Bali Agenda for Creative Economy. The document marked the vast potential and significant contribution of the creative economy to enable global economic, social, and cultural development. The Bali Agenda on Creative Economy highlights 4 important elements of the WCCE to become our lodestar, to become our way forward, which are collaboration and collective behavior of friends of the creative economy, enabling ecosystem development, celebration, promotion, and enablement of SDGs, cultural heritage, and diversity, and the next meeting, where will be the venue for the WCCE, the next WCCE. We also convinced ourselves, we also committed ourselves to bring creative economy to many global and multilateral fora.
So, guess, where is the next WCCE will held? Yes, the next meeting of WCCE will be held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates in 2020. The World Conference on Creative Economy was born here in Indonesia, but that does not mean that the WCCE belongs only to Indonesia. The WCCE belongs to the world. That's what makes this WCCE a world conference. As an Africa proverb said, to go fast, we go alone. But to go far, we go together. I will not take off my jacket, as my chairman, His Excellency Triawan Munat did yesterday, and sing We Will Rock You. Because I'm not wearing a jacket and also I cannot sing. But I will send a message to the next generations, to all millennials, all Gen Z, to remember that being creative is not only about monetizing your ideas and creativity, but most importantly, being inclusively creative means that with creativity, we can be useful for others, create new positive value proposition for others. In closing, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to say thank you to all of you, the creative people that has made the conference a success. See you at the next World Conference on Creative Economy in 2020 in Dubai. Until then, stay creative and productive. We thank you.
Thank you all participants for attending World Conference on Creative Economy 2018. Those who will participate at the press conference, please proceed to room Kintamani 2. World Conference on Creative Economy would like to thank our partner, Grab, and our official mobile platform partners, CNN, Moonton, Shopee, Potato Head Family, Opini ID, and lastly, our media partners, Kompas and Kompas ID. Ladies and gentlemen, please be informed the conference merchandise is available for purchase at Creative Village. Also, please join our curatorial tour to Art Bali after this closing ceremony. Shuttle service is available at the East Lobby. Thank you.